All right, guys, we broke the dyna. All right, so we were riding the dyna back a couple days ago, riding home from work, and the lights started to act kind of funny. The lights on the dash started popping up and doing weird stuff. And then got to the house, turned the bike off, went in, opened the door, and I was going to open up the garage door to put the bike up, come back out, and the headlight is flashing. Pull the key out, still flashing. And I'm like, I pulled the main fuse, put it back in, did the key cycle multiple times, and with the ignition on, when it flashed, the fuel pump would come on like I was like, that's strange. And then I started thinking, okay, the bike's trying to tell me something. We need to figure out, what did I do? Then it dawned on me. Yeah, that's not supposed to be there. That's supposed to be up under the fender. And those wires are not supposed to be bare. We chewed up the rear fender wiring set. Oops. So we are going to pull the fender. Already took the seat and bags off. We're going to pull the fender. We've already ordered the wiring set. It's going to be a few days before it comes in. But we're going to get everything ready, prepped for it. Try to do a better job of fixing this because this little loom actually fell down when I loaded it on the trailer to go to Daytona. So what I did is I took some Gorilla Tape and kind of just pushed, like some two-sided Gorilla Tape, pushed it on there, shoved it up in the fender, and I was able to, since the bike is so tall, and we just ran it. It did fine in Daytona. I should have taken everything apart and corrected it, but it didn't. So we're going to do it now. We'll get it blown apart. There's some other things that we need to do while we have the bike kind of down. We will get to that, but let's blow this apart and see how bad the wiring is. All right, so here is the fender and the carnage. What I actually find most interesting is that the tape actually had held to the fender, and I thought that was our problem. I figured this would have held the tape and it came off of the fender from being dirty and not being completely cleaned after being painted. But nope, that wasn't the case. So let me pull this out, flip the fender around, and look at the damage. So yeah, that's actually two different wires right there. And I'm gonna guess that one of them has power all the time and the other one is not supposed to, and they're touching. And that's why the bike is doing some super weird stuff. Obviously got some grounds and they're grounding out. I don't know if it's just those two wires that's ripped open in there. I don't know how deep you can see. But yeah, that's not supposed to happen. It's not good for it. So we're definitely gonna have to replace this, clean up the inner fender. I'm not going to replace the sheath that the wires go into because I'd have to de-pin everything to do that, buy another one, run it through. It's okay. The wiring's covered by like a loom anyways. I'm probably just going to maybe get some glue and some tape, really set this thing up for success, let it sit before I install it, and it will probably be fine. The tape I used to begin with was some 3M. Probably was not good for this. If I had some really good tape the very first time I did this, probably wouldn't be in this predicament. I didn't expect to need something as strong as I needed, and at that point it was too late because I could not install it properly since it was already on the trailer and we were headed to Daytona in the morning. But is what it is. There's some other things we need to get to, and we'll address that. All right, guys, we are back. It has been a few days, but the new wiring harness has shown up. I wasn't 100% sure if it was gonna have the like sleeve, because it didn't show that in the picture, but it has the sleeve and the double-sided tape right on there, basically just like factory. So I think we're gonna be good. I might take some extra measures just to put a little bit of extra tape on there, but we're not really gonna install it today. I just kind of wanted to show you that we have it. We're gonna clean up the inside of the fender. We're gonna clean it really nice, and then we're going to apply this tomorrow. And then I'm gonna let it sit. This Friday, Saturday, we're going to an event down in South Carolina. If you don't know, I run Wretched Clothing, and we have a clothing business, accessories, we got saddlebags, a bunch of different stuff for motorcycles and the motorcycle culture. So we have a show down in South Carolina. We're gonna be doing that this weekend, so hopefully when I come back Sunday, we can start putting this bike together. I just wanted to tell you before we do it, we're gonna clean the inside of the fender, apply this, and let it set, give it the best chance to hopefully, fingers crossed, not fall down again. But when you see us next, hopefully we will be during the reassembly process and a couple of things that we need to do to the bike. All right, it's been a few days since we got the fender straight. I'm not gonna put the fender on yet, mainly because I'm gonna do it with my wife and not worry about the camera so much, because I don't wanna scratch it. I could probably do it by myself, but I really risk scratching the side of that fender, and I don't wanna do that. I'm going to hold the fender, or she can hold the fender, kind of lay it down. Basically just kind of lay it in place and hold it in place while we put bolts in there and get the fender squared away, because I don't want to scratch it. But what we are going to do is we are going to change the oil, and then we need to fix the fuel gauge. Yep, that was transmission. That was the wrong plug. That is why you always check before you just pull the plug out. I thought I had the right one. I did not double check it. Your boy messed up. That was fresh oil in there. I say fresh oil, probably a few hundred miles on it. Oh well, it got changed. Which also means that I'm gonna have to run to Harley tomorrow to pick up a quart of oil, because I do not have more. And I'm not ordering it or anything like that, because I need to ride the bike this weekend. So your boy messed up. But let's drain the engine oil, get that done, and move on to the next. All right, now we got the right drain plug, and that is looking pretty black. All right, a lot of that was a cluster, and it was much harder than it needed to be. Already, we drained the transmission when we didn't mean to, so we got to get some more of that tomorrow. And then I guess the wife came home, started talking to her, and I guess all the engine oil didn't quite drain out. So when I went to fill it back up, I put in 3 quarts, and it was full. So we had to work on draining that back out. So it's a bit of a mixed oil change, but it's a dyna, so should be good, right? They don't care, doesn't matter. But we did fix one other thing while we were talking to her, super simple, but let's show you what we did. So we changed out the neutral safety switch. Let me go get the one we had and show you what we had going on. All right, so this is the neutral safety switch, and it basically broke. You can kind of see that moving right there. Yeah, it shouldn't do that. It should be still like that. So definitely loose connection. That was broken. I don't know, it looks like something hit it. So I don't quite know what happened. It could have happened before we bought it. I don't know, and it just kind of worked its way loose. Not sure, but it's a pretty cheap part. If you ever get to where your neutral light doesn't work and you have to pull the clutch in to start it up, even with it in neutral or whatever, then that's probably it right there. You can probably pull the leads and check it. It's on the right side of the bike. When we had issue with it, I don't know of anything else because we were doing the chain, so I don't know what we would have done to damage that, but it happens. Maybe when we were doing the chain and we had to get to this side of the outer primary, we probably hit it. Is what it is, cheap part, got it fixed. Now we can move on to the next thing. All right, so the next thing we need to do is get all this figured out. We need to splice these wires together. Basically what we need to do, instead of me trying to buy these little connectors and put them on here, what we're gonna do is just cut these. I was gonna solder them, but I haven't soldered anything in so long and I cannot find my soldering stuff. So all the other stuff I have is at work. So we're probably just gonna do this at work tomorrow and then we'll bring it home, hook it up, and we should be pretty golden. But we're basically gonna cut these wires off, put them together. We should be able to hook them up, and then we should have a working fuel gauge. That'll be great because we ran out of gas in Daytona. We need to fix that problem. All right, so we finally got the bike squared away. We went to my buddy's shop today, got the oil, got what we needed, and we filled up the transmission, checked the engine oil. We did run it. I didn't really want to, I ran it for like a second just to get the oil pump moving yesterday, but I didn't want to run it because the transmission was dry. In case you didn't know, just because it's in neutral doesn't mean your transmission doesn't move. It does. It still rotates. So it still needs lubrication, even sitting still in neutral. So we got everything filled up, got that going. The neutral safety switch, I believe, works. I did not put it in a different gear to check. It comes on when it's in neutral though, so that's good. And you can start it up without pulling the clutch in, so that's great. Well, at least when it's in neutral. I haven't tried it in gear. I don't know. But let's show you the bike. So she's put back together. Oil change, neutral safety switch. The fender is back on. I had to get the wife to help me, so it really wasn't worth filming. I basically held the fender. Obviously, even though this bike's is pretty, it is on a show bike. There's going to be scratches, but to minimize that, I got her to hold the. I held the fender and did all that, and she put the bolts in for me. Got them started. That way, it was all squared away, and had to double check that the taillight was working because you know it's smart to check that. But taillight works, so the new wiring's good. It sat for probably a week with all the tape on there. That better stay put. We will see what happens, but it better stay put. So fender's good, oil's good. We did run it just enough to get everything cycled, and it was a little warm. I'm pretty sure we're good there. Neutral light now works, because that used to not work. And look at that. We even fixed the fuel gauge. So now that pretty much everything is squared away, it's rideable. We do have a ride this weekend. I'm not sure when this video is coming out, but the weekend, in a couple days, we have a ride down to Club Style down in Pinehurst, North Carolina. They're doing a game of stunt. It's going to be a cool show. We're going to be vending. We're going to take the bike. I need to clean this thing, but we still have work to do vending-wise, restocking from last week's show. I do want to go in with the Thunder Max, change a couple things, and get that auto-tune working, but we will have to come back to that. We're still working out the kinks on this thing, one thing at a time. The fuel gauge was pretty simple. We went to work. We soldered everything. My buddy had all that stuff there. Got that going. We didn't have any shrink wrap, so just taped it. But it should be good. Should not really be a problem. But I'm happy to have the bike back together. Very excited about that. And even though this was kind of just a little button-up project, hopefully you like this video. Hit that like button. If you have any questions about this bike, please comment down below. We're getting to the point where we can start to do some reviews on these parts. I know I get a lot of questions about that Saddleman fairing. I will be talking about it. We have done some rides with it. We have put some miles on it. We're going to be putting some real miles on it this next weekend, or this weekend in a couple days. So we should be squared away. Hopefully everything works out. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And as always, keep it wretched.